region of Veracruz, Mexico, in the Gulf of Mexico. And one of the very traditional songs that we play there is a rhythm called Huapango. And this is one of the songs that it presents, and everybody in the Republic knows this kind of song. Are worldwide known. So this is a rhythm called Huapango. Dicen que por las noches nomás se le iba en puro llorar. Dicen que no dormía, nada se le iba en puro tomar. Juran que el mismo cielo se estremecía al oír su llanto. Cómo sufrió por ella, que hasta en su muerte la fue llamando. Vaya, Penny. Cucurrucucú. Cantaba. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Lloraba de pasión mortal. Moría. Dicen que por las noches nomás se le iba en puro llorar. Dicen que no dormía, nomás se le iba en puro tomar. Juran que el mismo cielo se estremecía al oír su llanto. Cómo sufrió por ella, que hasta en su muerte la fue llamando. Cucurrucucú. Paloma. Cucurrucucú. No lloren las piedras jamás. A saber de amores. Cucurrucucú. 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 Paloma, ya no llores. Thank you.
I'm very excited to be here and playing for Guruji. I'm also excited to be presenting my son Rishabh. He's 6 years old. He's been learning since he's 2. And this I thought would be a good opportunity. We're going to play Rag Bhairav, which is actually a morning rag, but it's the one he's working on right now. Let's go closer to the mic.
We are fortunate to have a very large Indian population here in the United States, which we welcome and celebrate. Currently, people of Indian descent are the fastest growing segment of the ancient population in our state. Historically, many of the first came attracted by the opportunities of technology, but while the technology industry is still a big draw, many Indians also came here for the educational opportunities, to start a business, or just because their families have come before them. And with so many Indian people here, and the deep influence of religion on many of them, it is critical that we are able to maintain their culture and especially be able to worship freely. I was mentioning to Dr. Satpathy that how great it is to see that these young people are forwarding the culture, are being taught the culture, and then being able to share that, and so it's not lost. Now, I want to mention the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution guarantees the freedom of religion, and so it allows Christianity and Buddhism and Hinduism and Sikhism, Islam, and many other religions to coexist peacefully. The United States has a long tradition of acceptance of religions, and the nation was, in fact, founded by people who escaped religious persecution in Europe. This history set it up to be a haven for many religious movements. And countless others, such as yours, have come and prospered and grown in our great nation. It is only natural then that we welcome today and celebrate here at the Hindu Temple and Cultural Center the Global Sai movement, which follows the life and teachings of Shri Shirdi Sai Baba, an increasingly influential Indian saint who is often referred to as Perfect Master. Indian and Indians all over the world are now celebrating the 150th anniversary of the birth of Swami Vivekananda, the only Indian Perfect Master to have visited the United States to date. He gave the opening speech at the World Congress of Religions held in Chicago on September 11, 1893. After the welcome address of opening of the Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda spoke and started with these few words: "Sisters and brothers of America." The 7,000 people in the audience, immediately feeling the depth of his sincerity, rose to their feet and, according to reports, and I quote, went into inexplicable rapture with standing ovation and clapping that lasted for more than 3 minutes, unquote. The Swami then went on, "It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us." Swami Vivekananda's welcoming remark in many ways still reflect the passion of the Global Sai movement as it is today, with its core message of simplicity, of purity, and of love. As part of the celebrations, we are honored to have, as a visitor from India, once again, a leading light in the Global Sai movement, Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy, or Guruji. Dr. Satpathy is a devotee of Shri Sai Baba and a prolific writer, a incredible speaker, an astrologer, a music composer, a lyricist, a philanthropist, and a teacher to hundreds of thousands of people. Dr. Satpathy has also been instrumental in establishing more than 300 temples in Shri Sai Baba in India and abroad as part of the Global Sai movement. Many of you may have met Dr. Satpathy Guruji during his visit last year when he was honored at the first Washington State Summit on U.S.-Indian Trade in Seattle with building bridges across nations of war. And I have to say personally that he spoke to me and gave me great encouragement when I was having an extremely difficult time last year, and I thank you very much for that. It was very helpful, by the way, following our conversation. Today, We are honored to be present for the international release of his latest music album, which he both wrote and composed. His new devotional CD, Vardaan Do Sai, an accompanying book, is the latest in the collection of his many outstanding works, many of which have been translated to English and other languages. These have inspired followers of Shri Shirdi Sai Baba and global Sai movements around the world. In this spirit and devotion to kindness that we value and appreciate the people of India, those who have moved here and those who are speaking or making Washington their home, we welcome you to this great state of Washington as well. And I'd like to say that Dr. Satpathy, you are always welcome in Washington State. We welcome you and the movement you spearheaded into our multicultural, our multiracial, our multi-ethnic society, and believe that its presence will only serve to enrich the rich tapestry that is the evolving story of this great nation of ours, the United States of America, and our wonderful state. Namaste. Thank you very much.
We will do the international release of Vardaan Do Sai, and we'll play some pieces of that CD album for your enjoyment before we get Guruji's discourses. So, Lieutenant Governor Brad Owen, I would request you to release the CD here, right in front of you. Vardaan Do Sai, this has been the latest CD album, music written and composed by Guruji himself, and the songs have been sung by very well-known singers of India like Mahalakshmi Iyer, Javed Ali, Rup Kumar Rathod, and Shah. And we will play some teasers, but before that, we will release the international CD. And Guruji, I would ask you to come over here so that both of you can open it, please.
This is the release.
Jai Shri Sai. Let me finish off with the formalities from the beginning so that we have time and in a mood to speak of more finer things and finer nuances of what we understand as spiritualism. I'm very happy. Thank you, Mr. Brad Owen, to second time with you. It has been a pleasure always been with you. We vibe well, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, children, the temple staff, the Sai Community Center, the temple authorities, Mr. Trivedi spoke about me, Das, Itu, Mr. Habib, all people that have been introducing us. Thank you all. I know how much of activity must have going for this Sai Global as they call it a movement. I also thank the performers. I had heard of this Japanese dance. There were many types of daiku. One is Nagaro daiku. The word Nagaro comes from Indian language. This was carried through Buddhism. There is a word called Nagada. There are two instruments in which parallelly put on the ground and play Nagada. The Nagaro Daiko is one of those. I have been in Tokyo for some time, about more than 2 months, so I know what it means. Excellent performance. Odissi dance, you know, comes from a culture which is more than 1,000 years old, from Odisha, where Mr. Brad Owen had been and had and appreciated the culture thereof. I saw the instrumentalist, the recitation of the shloka. And let me thank you all, whosoever participated, contributed in any manner, devotees. People have come from many places here, including other countries. Somebody is from UK, somebody from Mexican person. All of you put together. This put together is the root of any religion. In India, the word religion is known as dharma. Dharma. Now, you go to the etymology of the word. Etymology means the root on which a word is created. Every word has the root. And the root gets the principal idea. And that principal idea is covered by a language. That is, dharma is from a dhatu in Sanskrit dhru. The meaning of that etymological word, dhru, means to hold together. To hold together. Herein, this word is not only used in the organized religions, to be understand, that Christianity holding Christians, Hinduism holding Hindus, Buddhists. I find three historic incarnations of Indian religion here: Buddha, Jaina, Shirdi Sai Baba, and the deities of ours in the Hindu pantheon, but being here to hold together. If it is not holding together, it is not religion. The religion of body, the religion of physics, the dharma of physics, we call it. And we don't say wife, we say dharma patnihi. Wife, based on that in Hinduism. In an atom, there's a nucleus, the electrons, they hold together. They're circuiting in the micro. In the macro, stars, planets, they move in their orbits, they don't clash against each other, hold together. This is the dharma of physics. Within a man, there are negative qualities, divine qualities, the satanic qualities. Both will be there. There's nobody on this earth who did not have both. The very creation is made on a dual theory of existence of two. Holding this together in balance within us, and therefore not harming the society, but contributing to the society by such attitude, is dharma, religion. In a family, 5 persons are there, living together, supporting each other, is a dharma. In a society, various groups holding together, helping each other, contributing for the happiness of each other, is the samajik dharma, social dharma. And in the world, cut across the races, the language, the religion, if people are holding together at distress, in happiness, at every contingency, this is the religion of the true definition of religion, because we have seen the history of the world. Religions have killed more than have united. In the history of the... Why? Because the basic requirement of holding together is missing sometimes. The basis of religion is nothing but humanism. Humanism. I am a man, you are a man, whatever you are. I am a Homo sapien, you are Homo sapien, whatever you are. Do we have the thinking that we should hold together each other? Not only that, go beyond. Other life forms that contribute to our existence. Call it birds, animals, even plants. If this is broken, the dharma of the universe is not there, you have ecological imbalance. If you go to Indian Vedic philosophy, which is our basis 5,000 years before written, it has put put this word of holding together in every aspect of life of a human being, social, financial, psychological, spiritual, whatever. So the entire holding together needs one element in mind. I'll deal only with one element of mind, and that is what these masters are. Only one thing, all of us, good, bad, children, sufferer, happy. When in distress, think that somebody should be compassionate to us. We want compassion, each of us. Even we want, not only that we want compassion from neighbor, from our relatives, we need compassion from the state also. We need compassion from the society. Everybody thinks, Lord, I am in such distress. Can't I get somebody who will come and hold my hand? Look at Philippines. Everybody seeks that compassion. The law of compassion, a beautiful law. How does the law of compassion work? Without compassion, society won't. If everybody was fighting for each other, for his own existence, esoteric, atomic individualism, me only, a monotheism of me only, then the world would have been disintegrated. Compassion. So those who are compassionate, we look up to them, kripa. Ishwarya kripa, the divine compassion. And those mighty, lofty characters in the history of the world who gave that compassion as if the pain of the other is pain of theirs, without consideration what will go wrong with them, how much they may suffer, at their own cost of their own time, energy. When they started helping people, that is the character we idealized. Christ, Shirdi Sai Baba, all these masters. You have to first understand what is a perfect master. It is not who opening lot of property, creating name for himself, no. There is a Kabir, one master. He used to live by doing his own job. I think he was stitching cloth. The master had thousands. The king would call him, nothing doing. He was the Garib Nawaz, the poorest of the poor. The compassion flows to the poorest of the poor. That is the issue here. Start in the history. All those were compassionate that way. I remembered by history. Building up of temples or churches or religious institutions are the reflections for sustenance or the instruments of such compassion. Otherwise they have no relevance. This is the background. Shirdi Sai Baba. Today in India, he is every house is his name. I went to him and I didn't know his name for some time, but things have changed a lot now. I mean, every country it is getting, and you will just see everywhere it will be. India, like Andhra Pradesh, has more than 1,400 temples, one state. And we have come up with 300, another 100 is in pipeline. In Australia it is coming. Australia we have got to, New Zealand is coming, Fiji Island, Missouri and Africa and everywhere. Recently I was in London doing something like that. Why is it coming? It is coming because first is this society has become very complicated. 300 years before, this society might not have been that complicated. Knowledge, good. Technological knowledge, good. But knowledge not used is just like having a mind's inventory with informations. We sometimes mistake information's juxtapositioning as knowledge. We sometimes mistake opinion created by data information system as knowledge. Socrates said, when Socrates was killed, the wisest, perfect master of his time, he was a perfect master. If he was not a perfect master, he would not have said, look, my student, I'm dying. They're giving me hemlock. I'm observing how death comes. You record the history of how death goes. Yet he held to himself. Never bowed down. Because if Socrates had bowed down, knowledge would have bowed down. If knowledge would have bowed down, then opinion would have ruled. If opinion would have ruled, this state could not have survived. This is the very basis of human tendencies. Shirdi Sai Baba. Nobody knows what his father was, mother was. Nobody knew where he came from, although there are speculations by researchers. Nobody know who was his guru, although there are speculations, Venkusha and all. I wrote all the literature. When he left his body, he did not ask anybody to propagate his name. He left no property, made no property. He did not put a heir apparent who will carry on his mission. Nothing doing. He was there in the remote, poor village of Maharashtra called Shirdi, which was not known to even the neighboring district for 50, 60 years. Served everybody. He used to give medicine. Children used to play hide behind him. He used to give food himself. He used to go and beg and give these foods to people and birds and animals. If the horse was bitten, transference of pain is possible. You have seen in Christianity also. This was Shirdi Sai Baba. When they gave him all the articles of pleasure like a palanquin to move in that in a royal style, he never accepted that. He walked. He was not able to walk because he was getting old serving these people. And how did he tie people? Not as somebody sitting in an upper strata giving dole to people in the lower strata. If a power is sitting at a higher level, is trying to make people grateful to him by giving, it is not a mother. It is not divine. It is a powerful person giving to the lower person. That is full of its own assertion of ego. That doesn't reveal love. Love is revealed like a mother giving to a child in spite of bad or good conditions in which she may be having the worst situations for houses. But never without any explanation, without thinking of returns. Divine love is motherly love. Therefore, in Hinduism, they have formed Hindu deities in woman forms, one of the rarest religions, and so prominently the mother factor of the father, like a young and young cross, the female formulation of God and the positive formulation, both are there. This was Shirdi Sai Baba today. Second thing, what first is for him, the Muslims used to go to him, poorest people, ordinary people, saints. Parsis used to go to him. Parsis are the Aryan Austrians, those who traveled from Europe to Austria, Assyrian Aryans you could call them, who later on transgressed to India and settled there. Hindus, Christians, Chakravarti. At that time, the entire government was Christian government. The British government had come in. At that time, Hinduism the three things were happening. The British had come, 1835, Macaulay's British literature had come in. Macaulay came to India, introducing literature. Christianity had come. A power ruled by Britain has come. And language had come in of Christianity. Muslim religion, which was so far the Nawab or king, had fallen, trying to somehow save itself, being defeated by the British government. Hinduism, ruled by one and ruled by another, before Gandhi came, trying to take its life back, some breathing space in this changed atmosphere. It was a situation in which you had a Sepoy mutiny, 1857, when the Indians fought against the British. There were also a lot of confusion in the society in which somebody was needed to put them together. You see Indian history, such a combination of people under one roof for a man who did not, even people thought doesn't have education. Same day a Muslim function, same place a Hindu function, same play a Parsi function. Together to do it was a daring act, and except the spiritual masters of this category, nobody would have dared to do that and get away with it. The perfect masters, as I say, are spiritual rebels. They want to break the society or change the society in peaceful means by exerting themselves and bring about this particular change to make life simpler. They say to their pupils, children, listen to me, children, walk in the shadow of my love. And I said, I'll take you like what Christ said, isn't it? If there was, in fact, he's my master, believe me, I've read about all masters in the world. I know. If there is anybody closest to him, for me, is no doubts Christ, because only factor is compassion. I don't see Christianity, I see Christ and compassion. That is a group of people practicing something. There have been other masters, Confucius, who have a different way of going through it. Allah said, there have been many masters and many, Enoch, Powell, in ancient times, there have been various forms. So when you're talking of perfect master, don't go by the standardized Puranic sentiment that he must be extolled with Oriental or or Occidental hyperbolic languages. No. They want simple love, simple communication. They will behave like friends or a father or a child. In case of Lord Krishna, he was like a child. In somewhere it was like a father, somebody like a friend. So they just know this. The world will sustain with love. This was Shirdi Sai Baba, who at that point of time, it has cut across all the complicities of Hinduism and the rigmaroles of other religions. It has just said 5 things he has said. 1, cut across race, culture, caste, language, everything. In his place, everybody was there, cut across. They have no meaning for a master. 2, economic status, temporal status, big or small, has no meaning. 3rd, he did not preach asceticism. Because if everybody becomes ascetic, then how does the world progress? He did not say asceticism. There were people who of their own volition wanted to learn the tricks, fine. But he himself never tested. What he did, the most beautiful part is, to this master, whosoever went, child goes first, mother goes first, daughter goes first, somebody, the entire family gets drawn. He becomes like an elder father, like I like the old father of a Shaolin monk or Japanese people. I mean, the old fathers, they have a certain sitting over everybody, blessing over everybody, helping over everyone. So this is what Shirdi Sai Baba was. All the families, everybody, you will find many people are there, next generations. He never say that you leave your family and go away, do this. No. So that is what. That is why today in India, when the society is complex and we want a relief, we don't want complex systems of religion. We want simple systems of togetherness. It is immaterial. Who is Kim here from US, she was there, or she is there, it is immaterial. It is material whether you like me, I like you or not. And do we have a common feeling for each other? And can we put together those feelings and those essences to do the little bit that you can perhaps in our limited course of life. India is full of it, and many places it will go because the lowest minimum standards of existence without making them more lofty unnecessarily with language and all that. He said only 9 things. He never spoke of hyperbolic languages. He said, be with me, I'll be with you. Hold me in your heart, I'll hold you in my heart. If you hurt somebody, I felt hurt. And there are a lot of story historic. Now, Shirdi Sai Baba was a historic personality like Buddha and Jaina, perhaps the latest historic personality about which. And who used to go to them at the time? All the judges, the executive, the ICS officers, the police officers, the revenue officers. Because 1860, the Police Act came in existence. Revenue Act in India came, British government. 1861, the Police Act came. All these posts were created at the time. So all these people used to go to him. And all of them were so influenced in spite of being working under government. As Mr. Curtis, the commissioner, everybody used to go. Why? Because they found only love and cooperation. No ego, no assertions. He sometimes could not eat. A poor lady came, asked for food, took away his food, he was sitting. Imagine. You have seen lepers cases, how they were treated in society. The man who was engaged to take up care of his body, clean it, nobody else, not of the high caste people in India, was the beggar who was a leper. Beauty is here. Beauty exactly here. That not only that he said, he practiced, he showed to everybody. A leper, Bhagoji Shinde, who also belonged to a lower caste in the Hindu parlance, scheduled caste. Could he only choose that person to take care of him? So, God, why should a poor man have a double jeopardy? There is a question in my mind. Think of it. If God, you are ruling everything, I am born poor. Okay, first is I am born poor, on which I had no hand. Second is, after being born poor, why didn't you be kind to me? Why I continue to suffer in that poverty and be humiliated? Why should the poor have double jeopardy, as they call it in law? That's one question. Either you believe in Hinduism like last life's actions, reaction syndrome, happening in this life, one way of looking at it. Otherwise, it doesn't come to a logic. If I'm born in a lame man, and then I can't perform, what do I explain to God why I can't perform? Who is the cause of my birth? Therefore, we should think, if we are doing anything for Sai movement, festival is okay. Functions are okay. Institutions are okay. Temples will come up. But unless we are doing something for the poorest of the poor, not for showing like the many institutions, they kept calendars and photos and all those sort of things. No, not that. And sitting in higher, more sophisticated situation. Unless we do that, which Baba's theme was exactly, he believed in no sophistication at all. Because they have no time to go for sophistications. If sophistications or ego or aristocracy blocks in rendering service, it is better to kill it. Because otherwise actual service cannot come. It cannot come. It will only come for people who leave all the side, go like normal manner. So that is why I'm very happy to be here. And many groups I saw here. International community is coming. The world has become pretty small these days in terms of distance and time. Intercultural exchange is going on. Washington, I'm very happy this place, I was somewhere else in US, but I think this is one of the best places in US to be. Thank you, Mr. Governor. It's a nice place. There's a nice culture in this. Das and Habib and all the group of you. They created a togetherness. Please understand, it is so easy to separate, so difficult to be together. Because the human problem is, differences of opinion can easily lead to differences of mind. Differences of opinions should not create differences of mind. That's what Sai Baba told his people. I'm just putting in a different language what I practiced. And small adages that he said. That's why the Sai movement is going to be big, because it has got that theme which everybody would like, without any encumbrances which are outdated. Human civilization is progressing with more intelligence to a micro and macro level. We are conquering everything except we know how to conquer our self, which considers itself the center of universe. The problem with human society is each soul considers it is the center of the universe. Therefore, everything must fall in line with that ego. But if we consider we are just one of those insignificant particles moving in the space, which indeed we are, then I think we can think that we should go out and help people and be with them. And go down. See, it is better to go down, become rustic if you can, go and sleep in the villages. Whatever, it is immaterial. The society doesn't recognize what you ate, how many clubs you did, and how many beauty parlors you went, and how much of speeches you gave. It will only recognize what you left for society. Because the law of nature says, this body will not be ours. Entire property we created shall not be ours. The name also goes. If law of nature's logic is that nothing will be ours, a wise man will from the beginning think, let me not keep for myself much of it, because law of nature will take it away in process of time. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving me patient hearing. I do not know when. I and my wife, Meera, we feel pretty nice here to be with you, and most impressed with what has been happening. Again, as I say, thank you very much. If read literature. Don't go in for mix-up literature, because reviewing of our own thought. Gentlemen and ladies, always review yourself. Even your religiosity, spiritualism. As I've been speaking, sometimes good qualities of human being creates greater problem than bad qualities. If it is a bad quality, others will control it, it will manifest. The ego of good quality sometimes doesn't manifest, and he is morally so convinced about good quality that it may become non-creative also. Haven't you seen people in a system sometimes? They think they're very honest. They're very hard taskmaster, but that's all. But the system doesn't work. It is because of those guys that left the organization. Flexibility, assimilation. Flexibility and assimilation is the theory. Jesus of Nazareth thought of God differently than what the contemporary people were thinking. They did not accept him, beheaded him. He was thinking, he realized God in a different way, wanted to tell them, look, it is different. Didn't realize. Killed him. Therefore, Christianity pervaded all over the world now because of non-assimilation. Lack of understanding of the contemporaneous religion. That times have changed, you must accept. Buddhism in India. Lord Buddha thought of spirituality different than what Hinduism was telling. Hinduism absorbed him, made him one of the incarnation. So Buddhism, it almost mixed up with Hinduism. Leaving aside what Ashoka did in eastern side of India. Assimilation and not contradiction, howsoever bad, is the process of evolution in every field. That is what the masters told me, and that is what we are doing here, assimilating cultures, languages, theories, music. I'm going with this, I shall go back in a day or two, back home, maybe New Jersey, somebody's there, and I shall always remember fondly whatever I saw, whatever experience. May Shri Sai, may God bless all of you. Thank you very much.